welcome history fanatics and doom scrollers alike. Today we're continuing our talk about King Solomon's Temple, the Ark of the Covenant, and why the world's most valuable storage box might just be lost under someone's garden shed. Grab your metaphorical Indiana Jones hat because, spoiler alert, archaeology rarely involves fedoras. First up, let's talk about Tyre. Not the thing on your car, the ancient city on the Lebanese coast. Tyre was already ancient before most cities were even a glimmer in a goat's eye. By the time of King Hiram, it had been in business for 1,000 years. If cities had frequent flyer points, Tyre would have been banned for excessive air miles. By 1000 BC, Egypt was having one of its famous leadership breakdowns, which in Egypt means 2 kings, endless priests, and more political drama than a BBC period drama marathon. While Egypt's power was sliding down the Nile faster than your lost flip-flop, Tyre was getting rich selling timber, purple dye, and presumably dodgy souvenirs to the ancient world. Enter King Hiram. Think Jeff Bezos, but with a beard you could lose a small dog in. Hiram takes one look at the international chaos and says, "Perfect! Time to expand." He builds harbours, launches trading fleets, and starts shipping goods everywhere: Sicily, North Africa, even Arabia and East Africa. In short, the man invented the buy one get one free model before supermarkets existed. Hiram's best mate? King Solomon of Israel. Now, Solomon wanted to build the most blinged-out temple the world had ever seen. Problem: his kingdom was a bit short on trees. Israel's highlands were, shall we say, not exactly the Black Forest. Meanwhile, Lebanon had so many cedars, even the squirrels were complaining about the noise. So Solomon sends a message. "Hiram, mate, I need wood." Hiram replies, "How much?" "All of it." Solomon responds. Hiram, always up for a challenge, delivers the best timber and even throws in some expert builders because if you want something done right, get the Phoenicians. Meanwhile, Solomon's father, King David, had already collected a mountain of gold, blueprints and, let's be honest, stress for this very project. David couldn't build the temple himself, presumably because he'd already hit his divine do-it-yourself quota. But he did set his son up with enough resources to make even the Egyptian pharaohs jealous. So imagine hundreds of workers, forests of cedar, and more gold than a Bond villain's dream. You've got craftsmen panelling the interior, lining the Holy of Holies with pure gold, and even covering the outside with yet more gold. Honestly, the place must have glowed like a migraine aura in the midday sun. Ancient Jerusalem. Come for the history, stay for the sunglasses. And now, enter the widow's son, Hiram Mark II, sent from Tyre, apparently with an engineering degree and nerves of steel. His masterpiece? The Sea of Bronze, a giant basin that could hold 10,000 gallons of water, which is roughly how much coffee you need to finish a group project. And then there were the 2 enormous bronze pillars at the temple entrance, Yashin and Boaz. Each was 18 cubits tall, that's very big in modern units, topped with flowery capitals and decorated with pomegranates because why not? These pillars didn't hold anything up, much like your average government department, but they looked impressive and had names that roughly meant, "He shall establish and in it is strength." In other words, my house is solid. The real question, what did the neighbours think? Oh look, Solomon's built another monument, bless. Now the Ark of the Covenant, supposedly stored in the Holy of Holies, covered in gold, guarded like your nan's biscuit tin at Christmas. For nearly 4 centuries the Ark sat quietly while kings fended off everyone from the Egyptians to the Assyrians, usually by forking over enough treasure to bankrupt Fort Knox. And then poof, the Babylonians sack Jerusalem, the temple goes up in flames and the Ark simply vanishes. Did it get nicked, melted down? Or did some overzealous prophet sneak it out the back door? Some say the prophet Jeremiah hid it on Mount Nebo in a secret cave. Some say it's buried 40 stones deep in a desolate valley. Some say it's in Egypt or Ethiopia or under the Temple Mount, just waiting for a bunch of archaeologists to have a very bad day. Others say it's as fictional as Indiana Jones' PhD. Honestly, at this point, your guess is as good as mine. But let's be fair, the Ark's been about to be found any minute now for the last 2,500 years. It's like the historical version of a bus that never arrives. If you want to speculate where it is, go ahead. Drop your theory in the comments and we'll see whose is the least plausible. But what's the point of the temple, you ask? Here's the real twist. The temple didn't actually contain God. No image, no idol, nothing. It was a house for the name of God, a revolutionary concept at the time. Everyone else had statues. The Israelites had an empty room. It's minimalism, ancient style. Take that, IKEA. Alas, all good things must come to an end. First, the Babylonians destroy the temple. Then, after the Jews return and rebuild it, bigger, better, with improved Wi-Fi, probably. Along come the Romans. In AD 70, during the first Jewish revolt, the temple is burned, by accident apparently. Though accident in Roman speak means we totally meant to do that, but don't tell management. A second revolt in 132. Nope, the Romans flattened the place entirely. Build a pagan city, slap up a couple of statues and ban Jews from entering. It's as if they wiped the hard drive and then poured coffee into the keyboard for good measure. And so all that remains is the memory, a sacred rock and a lot of tears. And let's be honest, a historical mystery that will keep archaeologists and conspiracy theorists in business for millennia to come. So, viewer, what did we learn today? Well, that the ancient world loved a grand project, especially if someone else was footing the bill. That legends are rarely solved but always worth chasing. Whether you're after lost arks, secret tunnels, or the last slice of cake at a family gathering. And that sometimes the most powerful idea is not what you see, but what you don't. An empty room with a name, echoing through centuries of hope, loss and ambition. If you made it this far, let me know in the comments. Where do you think the Ark of the Covenant ended up? Lost forever, secret cave, or someone's garden shed? Hit like if you want more ancient mysteries. Follow if you enjoy sarcasm with your history. And remember, never trust a city with more pillars than houses. Until next time, keep searching. The past is never as far away as you think. And remember to follow for more history drenched in sarcasm and dread.